What's up, everybody, and welcome to Read the Bible with me. I'm Stan Jr., and today we're looking at the book of Second Chronicles in the last chapter of this book, chapter 36. I'm so excited to read it with you, and if you are new here, go ahead and click the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell. There you can subscribe to this channel and be informed when I post a new video, which is every day at 7 a.m. As you know, we've been reading the Bible every single day. You'll see an upload on this channel every single day. If you look at our past uploads, we've uploaded a video every single day. And we did this to help people read their Bibles more. And I was praying, and in prayer I was asking the Lord to give me something that would help people get into the Word more on a regular basis. And He said, you read. So I'm reading it with you every single day, and it's a joy to do it. If you're a Bible Club member, go ahead and like this video and leave a comment below. I'm always grateful for your support throughout this past year and the years ahead of us. I'm grateful. Let's look at chapter 36, verse 1. It says, the people of the land took Jehoaz, the son of Josiah, and made him king in his father's place in Jerusalem. Jehoaz was 23 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 3 months in Jerusalem. 3 months. Then the king of Egypt disposed him in Jerusalem and laid on the land a tribute of 100 talents of silver and a talent of gold. And the king of Egypt made Eliakim, his brother, king over Judah and Jerusalem, and changed his name to Jehoiakim. But Necho took Jehoaz, his brother, and carried him to Egypt. Jehoiakim was 25 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 11 years in Jerusalem. He did what was evil in the sight of the Lord his God. Against him came up Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and bound him in chains to take him to Babylon. Nebuchadnezzar also carried part of the vessels of the house of the Lord to Babylon and put them in his place, or his palace, in Babylon. Now the rest of the acts of Jehoiakim and the abominations that he did and what was found against him, behold, they are written in the book of the kings of Israel and Judah. And Jehoiakim, his son, reigned in his place. Jehoiachin was 18 years old when he became king, and he reigned 3 months and 10 days in Jerusalem. He did what was evil in the sight of the Lord. In the spring of the year of King Nebuchadnezzar, sent and brought him to Babylon with the precious vessels of the house of the Lord, and made his brother Zedekiah king over Judah and Jerusalem. Zedekiah was 21 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 11 years in Jerusalem. He did what was evil in the sight of the Lord his God. He did not humble himself before Jeremiah the prophet, who spoke from the mouth of the Lord. He also rebelled against King Nebuchadnezzar, who had made him swear by God. He stiffened his neck and hardened his heart against turning to the Lord, the God of Israel. This is all terrible attributes for any leader to have. He didn't want to listen to the prophet of God, and prophets are the mouthpiece for God on the earth this time and today as well. And so he didn't want to humble himself and listen. One thing that humbling does, it allows you to listen. It allows you to hear another perspective. People that are arrogant or that are not humble, they don't like to listen to people. They think that their idea is the best idea, and it's always the best idea, and everybody should always love it, because they're not humble. Humble people say, well, what's your idea? Let's put them together. Let's work on getting the best solution. Doesn't matter if it's mine that gets chosen or my idea that gets picked. I don't care whose idea gets picked. I just want the best one. And so he was an arrogant man, and Nebuchadnezzar put him in his place, and God used Nebuchadnezzar to do that. And all of the officers and the priests of the people likewise were exceedingly unfaithful, following all the abominations of the other nations. And they polluted the house of the Lord that he had made holy in Jerusalem. The Lord, the God of their fathers, sent persistently to them by his messengers, because he had compassion on his people and on his dwelling place. But they kept mocking the messengers of God, despising his words and scoffing at his prophets, until the wrath of the Lord rose against his people, until there was no remedy. The wrath of God rose against his own people in such a way that there was no way to make it feel any better. There was no remedy. There was no way to solve it. Therefore he brought up against them the king of the Chaldeans, who killed their young men with the sword in the house of their sanctuary, and had no compassion on young men or virgin, old men or aged. He gave them all into his hand. And all the vessels of the house of God, great and small, and the treasures of the house of the Lord, and the treasures of the king and his princes, all these house of God, all these he brought to Babylon, and they burned the house of God, and broke down the wall of Jerusalem, and burned all its palaces with fire, and destroyed all its precious vessels. He took into exile in Babylon those who had escaped from the sword, and they became servants to him and to his sons until the establishment of the kingdom of Persia, to fulfill the word of the Lord by the mouth of Jeremiah, until the land had enjoyed its Sabbaths. All the days that it lay desolate, it kept Sabbath to fulfill 70 years. Now, in the first year of Cyrus, king of Persia, the word of the Lord by the mouth of Jeremiah might be fulfilled. The Lord stirred up the spirit of Cyrus, king of Persia, so that he made a proclamation throughout all his kingdom, and also put in writing, "Thus says Cyrus, king of Persia, the Lord, the God of heaven, has given me all the kingdoms of the earth, and he has charged me to build him a house at Jerusalem, which is in Judah. Whoever is among you of all his people, may the Lord his God be with you. Let him go up." And so we see the hand of God moving through all of this. Many people during this era thought that the Lord had forsaken them because he allowed Jerusalem to be captured and burned to the ground. And it really wasn't the forsaking of God, but actually it was the will of God that these things happened. He did this for a purpose. He did this for a reason, to get their attention, to turn them back to himself. God allows certain things to happen in our lives to get our attention, to get us back focused on the source. They were so focused on the resources of the world, and we get so focused on the resources of the world, we forget that God is our source. And he'll use instances to remind us of those things periodically. So that was chapter 36 of the book of 2 Chronicles, the last chapter of 2 Chronicles. I'm grateful for the journey that you've embarked on with me so far. We're going to move next time I see you to Ezra chapter 1. Ezra, it was an excellent man of God and a faithful man of God. And we're going to read about him and his stories and his life and all the people that was involved with him. So I'm grateful that you're with me. If you'd like to support the ministry, you can do that in the description. Become a patron and support each month, and I would appreciate that. And I'll see you next time. God bless you. Peace.